We are awfully close to a record high tomorrow. Of course, this is just a forecast, but at the same time, it really goes to show how mild we've been and will continue to be before we see some showers and thunderstorms, and perhaps the biggest thing here, gusty winds overnight into Friday. Good evening, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Yes, the graphic does not lie. Current record for December 28th is back at 67 degrees. Overall, not too bad, set back in the 80s. Tomorrow, our forecast here at Fox 19 is also at 67, so we could tie it. We could actually break it as well, not out of the question with these winds. They're going to be pretty strong coming in from the southwest, especially overnight, though. That's when we have those gusty showers in the forecast, too. Right now, across the tri-state, things are looking just mild, a little gloomy as well. The sun is set, of course, so you don't really see many clouds out there, but they are there, and warmer air is on the way. So today we hit a high right there at 51. That's 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. Not as warm as yesterday and not as warm as what we're forecasting for tomorrow. And no rain. We didn't see any rain today. Temperatures right now have backed off just a teeny tiny bit in spots. But again, these clouds kind of working their magic, working their science in a way. It's still 51 degrees because of those clouds here in Cincinnati. Same thing with the International Airport. Warmer south. 55s in Owenton and Vevey, and a little cooler north and east. It's 45 degrees right now up in Wilmington. Heading out the door the next few hours, what you see is what you get. Temperatures, they're not going to drop a whole lot overnight. In fact, we expect them to climb as temperatures start to warm up, with a little bit of rain trying to come back into the tri-state. So this is what we're going to be waking up to tomorrow morning. I think most of us are really going to struggle to dip below 40 degrees by about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, these temperatures are going to be climbing. So tomorrow morning's lows, it's kind of hard to sit here and say this is going to be the coldest temperature, because our overnight low could very well be the middle 40s at like 11 p.m. But then 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, we could be waking up to, some of us, very close to 60 degrees. And that's because we just have some warmer temperatures, warmer air on the way. It's also bringing in this spotty rain chance overnight as well. I think most of us are going to dip as low as the low 50s for tonight. But again, waking up tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, we have the middle 50s. So again, these temperatures climbing overnight into your Sunday, and as a result, tomorrow is also looking a little bit on the mild side. Don't be fooled by all those rainy icons. Light, spotty rain chances through your morning, and that's it. I think we're tracking just a very small chance for rain in that tailgating forecast for the Bengals game. Reminder that kickoff is at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And around then, we'll start to get a little bit breezy. Temperatures back into the low 60s, and we're going to be driving home in the mid to upper 60s as well, hopefully bringing home the dub. All right, once we get through the afternoon on Sunday, we do have this first alert weather day back in the forecast. Gusty showers, a few rumbles of thunder, and some of those thunderstorms could be on the stronger side. So that's why it's a first alert weather day. I will say, nothing's really changed in our forecast. Over the last couple of days, I've definitely been mentioning the fact that this line of thunderstorms is going to be weakening as it gets to the tri-state, but also as it crosses across the tri-state too. And so we could very well just get some gusty rain showers, a few rumbles of thunder, and that's it. But reminder that you don't need thunder in order for these showers to become strong or severe. The winds are the main concern with this, folks. We're seeing winds gusting up to and around 50 miles per hour, not just with this line of thunder showers, for lack of a better term, but also for Monday afternoon too. So secure your outdoor decor, take it down, because we're going to get breezy and going to get cold as well. I do want to give you guys that first alert update though, because we talked about this yesterday. There is the smallest risk of something strong to severe, entirely driven by the wind threat. Again, the chance for lightning is pretty low here in Cincinnati. It increases the farther west you are from downtown. It decreases the farther east you are from downtown. Again, these showers, few rumbles of thunder, are going to be weakening from west to east. And that's exactly what you see here in the severe thunderstorm risk. You can see the chance for something strong to severe has dropped off for parts of Highland, Brown, all of Adams and Mason, Robertson, parts of Bracken counties as well. Again, this is mainly driven by the wind, about a 5% chance of seeing that severe thunderstorm warning. And to give you an idea, I know this time of year it's not out of the question to see tornadoes, and it's still possible, but it's just greater far north and west. And even that risk is on the smaller side, 2% chance for that. So here's your updated timing, not just with the thunderstorms in the evening, but the chance for light rain in the morning. Very light where we do see it. If you're not seeing the rain, you are still seeing some fog, clouds as well. We're going to hang on to those gloomy conditions until we're able to see this warm front fully pass through the tri-state, which is not going to happen until later on in the afternoon. A few peaks of sun are possible. I think most of us will sit nice and dry up until around here. So here's the updated timing of that line of showers and a few rumbles of thunder. 8 o'clock. Arrival time closer to Batesville, Connorsville, Ripley County. Here in Cincinnati, closer to about 10 o'clock. Notice this line. It's already weakening as it approaches the tri-state, but it weakens even further, I should say, as it crosses through the tri-state to the point where those down towards West Union, Maysville, Hillsborough even, you guys could very well just get those gusty showers and not see any lightning with this. Those west of Cincinnati, I would expect a few strikes of lightning. Here in Cincinnati, the chance backs off just a bit, but also just keep in mind that it's possible. And then we're going to see these showers, a few rumbles of thunder, sail east and away from the tri-state, and we still have that small opportunity for some flurries on Monday. We've been tracking that for a couple days now, that little shot of snow on the backside of those rain showers. I will say, the risk of flash freeze, it's there. It's definitely there. However, with these winds whipping around, that is really going to help to evaporate the water out there that's just sitting on the roads, sitting on the sidewalks. However, the deeper puddles, that does run the risk of flash freezing. Of course, these winds in and of themselves, though, could be packing that punch and could very well be causing some power outages for your Sunday evening. And power outages this time of year can be a really scary thing for people, and that's why we've been stressing the importance of getting ahead of this storm, because we're getting very cold for Monday. If your source of heat in your house relies on electricity, we could be looking at a pretty messy situation, a very unsafe situation in some spots, in some cases for sure. How much rain are we talking? This hasn't changed between yesterday and today, about a quarter to half of an inch, but higher totals seen west of Cincinnati. That light green you see over there, totals a little bit closer to an inch, and that's just where we see the greater likelihood of some thunderstorms. And these winds, probably the main component, the main reason why that we've issued a first alert weather day for Sunday into Monday. These winds, you'll notice them kicking up as soon as the late morning tomorrow, but they'll really start to ramp up the later we get into the night. And as we see that cold front passing through, look at these winds gusting up to about 45 miles per hour at times. And then as we work into your Monday afternoon, more widespread wind gusts anywhere between 40 and 50 miles an hour. And so pair that with very cold temperatures, it feels like the single digits. The winds in and of themselves can cause power outages. It's going to be very cold already, and if you don't have heat because you don't have power, it could be a very dangerous situation. And we're going to hold on to some cold temperatures for the end of the year, all the way through the rest of 2025 and into 2026. With highs back in the 30s as soon as Wednesday, but reminder, hopefully we're able to escape the power outages altogether. Let me give you an idea of what to expect as far as the wind chills go, and I'm going to start with Sunday just to give you guys that comparison of we're feeling great, even as late as 8 o'clock Sunday evening when those showers and storms are just knocking on our doorstep. It feels like temps in the middle 60s, but 12 hours later, Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning, single-digit wind chills. And we've been nice and mild for days now. And so while we've seen cold like this already this season, it can catch a lot of people off guard. And you pair that with really gusty winds, of course, and power outages, and that's when things start to get a little dangerous. We don't see much relief towards the afternoon. On Tuesday morning, that's the coldest morning that you'll see here in the rest of your 7-day forecast. And it's not until really Wednesday and perhaps the 1st of January, so Thursday, that we start to lift a little bit farther past the freezing point. So we're going to be entering into a little dip in the Arctic, if you will. And we're going to stay there for a few days too. And as a result, we do have some snow chances to talk about, so let's talk about them. Our first one, I showed you Monday. We do have a small chance there on Monday. More potent snow showers are in the forecast as soon as New Year's Eve. The timing of this has bumped up just a little bit. By a little bit, I mean like maybe an hour or two, because we can expect the snow to start here in Cincinnati, or at least modeled newest information suggesting that the snow will start as the ball drops at midnight on New Year's Day. Higher snowfall totals are going to be north of Cincinnati because you can see the snow is coming from the north, so that just makes sense. And we're going to hold on to those snow showers through the mid-morning as well. So this model, we're still many days out and away from it, so we'll hopefully see those snow chances back off a little bit, and we'll have a better idea of how much snow to expect. Right now I'm not seeing inches upon inches of snow, but some models are saying those north of Cincinnati could see an inch of snow when everything is said and done on New Year's Day. This is mainly going to be in the morning. You can see the evening looks a little bit better, but still pretty cold stepping into 2026. Let's see if we have any questions coming on in before we start talking about that 7-day forecast. Okay. Seth's tuning in. How are you doing on a Saturday night? Last night you're playing some video games. That's fun. I'm doing well. Thanks, Seth, for tuning in. Tina's tuning in. Hi, Tina from Aurora, Indiana. Are we going to have bad weather? We're going to have a little bit of messy weather for sure, Tina. Aurora, Indiana, you're included in that little marginal risk for severe weather. I think it's just mainly going to be some gusty thunder showers coming through the tri-state. Not just with the rain, though. You're still going to hold on to those gusty winds Monday morning, Monday afternoon. Again, first alert weather day starts Sunday evening with a line of thunderstorms, and it doesn't end until Monday evening. So bad weather, definitely a change of pace for sure. We've seen worse though. Darla's tuning in. Hello, Erin. Hope you're having a great Saturday. You as well, Darla. Thank you for tuning in. Jeff's tuning in. Where's the snow? This is winter, not summer or spring. Yeah, it definitely feels more like early spring rather than early winter. And I just showed you the snow is not too far away. In fact, it's just coming in at the right time. It's coming in ceremoniously on New Year's Day, if you will. All right, let's talk about that 7-day forecast. 67, tomorrow's forecast high, near record. If that verifies, we tie the record, could pass it, in which case we would break the record. That would be fun, that would be cool, but eventually it's not about the mild temperatures. We see those temps dropping by over 40 degrees within 12 hours. That's what we're seeing in Monday morning's forecast. So it's going to be stormy for those west of Cincinnati, gusty showers pulling through those really cold temperatures. And instead of us tracking a little bit of rain throughout the day on Monday, we're tracking a bit of snow, of course, but it's not going to amount to a whole lot from what I'm seeing here. Maybe a little dusting, but the quick cool down, it takes a little bit of time for the surfaces to catch up with those cold temperatures, so I'm not too worried about snow accumulation for Monday, but flash freeze is definitely possible on the bridges, the overpasses, shallow puddles as well. The winds were going to help a little bit, but the deeper puddles that might not evaporate so quickly, those will freeze over, in which case give yourself some extra time. Monday morning, Monday afternoon as well, with temperatures in the upper 20s. All of Monday is a first alert weather day. Now Tuesday, 27, that forecast high. We have dropped that a little bit because we do have much clearer skies in that forecast, and so naturally the morning is going to be colder. Temps are going to be in the teens, single-digit wind chills. Afternoon on Tuesday, we're starting to get away from the active pattern, but we're still kind of parked in that cold air. Wednesday, New Year's Eve, mostly cloudy, 37. That's getting a little bit closer to normal for us here in Cincinnati until we see those snow showers, which are going to be arriving dark and early New Year's Day, January 1st, first day of 2026. We'll ring in the new year with some snow, 33, that forecast high, and then we're going to sit nice and chilly through the first weekend of 2026. Next Bengals home game, that is going to be on that following Sunday, so a week from tomorrow, in which, not too bad. 40 degrees, right on the nose for normal. Haven't seen normal in a long time, so perhaps it's a great change of pace as well. Okay, see if we have any questions coming on in. Jeff's chiming in again. I live in Greenfield, so by the way, you're talking we might just get rain and crazy wind. Yeah, out towards your direction, so east of Cincinnati. Is the farther east you go, the least likelihood, for lack of a better term, that you'll see thunderstorms. However, gusty showers, I'm talking winds gusting up to 45, 50 miles an hour, and you pair that with rain, power lines could be taken down, utility poles could be taken down with that. Depends on how much rain we see, which most of us will see at least 1/4 of an inch. So Jeff, yeah, living out in Greenfield, that's probably the best place to be if you don't want to see the thunderstorms, but you will get the gusty winds and the rain showers too. And then Jeff's saying Mother Nature just messing with us, or she don't know what she wants. Winter or fall, spring or summer. That's right, we're kind of all over the place with that going on. And that kind of brings me into my next thing I want to talk about, which is, I don't know about you, but everyone's talking about we just can't be normal. The data shows it for sure. We went from being below normal with these daytime highs for the final days of November. Most of the beginning of December, the first 16 days of December, we were below normal with those high temps. And then starting the 17th, generally, we have been above normal. And today was no different. We did see a high of 51, which is 10 degrees above normal. So we'll see another little notch on the graphic as well. But then as soon as Monday, back to below normal. So kind of that weather whiplash thing going on, of course. And to give you guys another idea of what to expect, I mean, this is just me showing off what graphics I've made at this point. But same sort of information you see here on your 10-day as you did just a second ago, but look at the drop. 67 Sunday, 28 Monday afternoon. And we're going to stay below average for a few days before we hit next weekend, in which we do see highs near normal. So yes, the snow showers on New Year's Day are going to keep us from getting to that normal mark. And so you imagine like these daytime highs are going to get cold. The mornings are even colder. How cold? Here's how cold. Monday morning, 26. Tuesday morning, 18. And then we'll sit in the middle 20s for a couple of mornings as well as we ring in the new year. So heavy coats will return and they're here to stay. How about warmer thoughts? Let's talk about warmer thoughts. Happy New Year. That's 5 days away. Of course, very close to 2026. Valentine's Day, less than 50 days away from now. St. Patrick's Day, following 80 days. And then spring, 83 days away from the first day of spring. That's March 20th for those of us who are perhaps wishing away winter a little prematurely. Here's something that might be promising for you as well. The first, starting to get into the first full week of 2026, still tracking above normal temperatures. As far as precip looks, slightly above normal precip. So basically what that means, temperatures on average are going to be above normal, kind of like what we've been seeing the last few days. Maybe not as extreme, but that's what they're leaning towards. And as a result, the slightly above normal precip, depending on the time of day, looking like a little bit more rain than we would typically see. All right, Jeff's tuning in still. Ohio weather, you never know what you're gonna get. Unless you're a meteorologist and you have a pretty good idea, right? All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's 6:19. We're gonna have the latest information for you guys about tomorrow's first alert weather day, the gusty showers, the chance for some thunderstorms, the big cool down, how long we're gonna stay cold, and the snow chances for New Year's Day. That's all coming up tonight at 10 o'clock on Fox 19. But for now, signing off here in Queens Gate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great Saturday.